Hey, I'm Kaja Veilleux, and I'd like to welcome you to Thomaston Place Auction Galleries. We have a fabulous winter enchantment sale. We have over 1,400 items, ranging from country items to the ultra-modern sculptures in glass. And everything is here to be viewed at our preview starting 2 weeks before the sale. You can bid online in 4 platforms that we have. You can bid on the phone, or you can come and leave an absentee bid, and we will have someone execute it for you. We welcome you to our winter extravagant sale that we have. The enchantment sale is a spectacular sale and should not be missed. So 2001, we start the sale with this Voorhees whale. I think it's Clark Voorhees, this whale, 2001. Clark Voorhees, very wonderful whale carver of whale plaques, very, very sought after. This should bring 1,000 to 2,000 all day long. And then a wonderful ship's bell right here in solid bronze, the Grace Choate 1907, with a macrame piece that you use to ring the bell. All hand woven by a sailor, I'm sure. 1907 in bell metal, not just bronze, but bell metal. That's lot 2036. And if you want something nobody else has, we have the front half of a walrus with his tusk inserted. This would have been a 19th century gathering. That's the only reason why we're selling it, because it's so old. And this was probably collected in the 1880s, 1890s. Interesting piece. This is a fun thing. Somebody came in with this. This is a replica of a U.S. Navy cannon, all done in wood. All done in wood on its own carriage. And that one is 2050. 2050. It's like a working cannon. They closed off the end of it. It is hollowed out. They closed off the end of it so nothing would get inside of it. But it's engraved with the U.S. Navy. Only 600 to 800 on that. A little tiny painting by James Buttersworth, a famous American and English painter. They were brothers that painted. This is a paddle wheeler in a storm. Lot 2031, 10 to 20,000 on the James Buttersworth right there. Looks like it could use a little cleaning. What a beautiful little picture right there. Above it is, this is probably by Stubbs or Badger, 2023. So as you can see, these guys are having a hell of a time in this storm. They're almost swamped. Looks like the name of the boat is the Patrician, the Patrick Henry. Poor Patrick, he's gone down fast. On the Patrick Henry boat right there in the lemon gold frame, 3,000 to 5,000 on this particular one. Be a bargain. If you're into handmade, exquisite boat models, this has got a laminated hull, handmade brass cannons, kegs, shot. It's got all the details that you want in a fine, fine ship's model. Boy, that thing is in great condition. On a custom-made mahogany base, 800 to 1,000. Again, another nice, oh yeah, look at the tiller works. This is a scrimshaw, custom scrimshaw walrus tusk with thermometer. Has a leather base on it. Somebody custom made that, lot 2004. That's the tip of a walrus tusk with ship on one side and a lighthouse on the other. Beautiful condition. 250 to 350. Nice price on that. And of course in here, Bill, they sell as Valentine's, which we get quite often. They're very, very well sought after. Lot 2025. And those usually bring a couple $1,000 easily. This is a little killer whale by Clark Voorhees. He sculpted and painted these. And this is his mark right here, C. Voorhees, with that double-ended V. Very sought after. That's a nice little one. That ought to bring 1,000 to 1,500 probably. Let's see what else. And Nantucket baskets. They love these. Nantucket baskets with scrimshaw scene on top. This is a group of 3, all at one money. 3 of these. Some of them are signed by the maker. And of course, what Captain didn't go out to sea without his liquor chest. Has all the original custom fitted bottles, a shot glass and a rocks glass, and they're always free blown, clear glass with gold trim. This is a particularly good one, in great condition and complete. These have a tendency to bring $1,000 to $1,500 every time. You notice even the glass is free blown with a gold trim. These guys weren't very sociable. You'll notice they only have one glass for themselves. Nobody else. So you're in your quarters at night, you're stressed out, mutiny's about to happen, you go downstairs, you have a little drink, and you're all set. So this is a solid bronze little naval cannon and on a custom oak base, and that's lot 2055, 1500. It's going to bring a lot more than that. This would be one heck of a signal cannon, boy, if you had it on the lawn in front of the house on the ocean. Probably take out one of them lobster boats out there with it. So this has all been custom carved presentation box right here with a man's name in silver on the top that it was presented to, and it's all carved. The gavel is all carved out, I believe, out of boxwood or satinwood, and here's a little chisel with his initials in it, the same, and it has a picture of the ship, or a sculpture of the ship on the inside lid. 1500. Boy, I'd hate to see if you could pay anybody to make one like this today. That's amazing. This came in on free appraisal day. Fabulous piece of history. This is a ship's chronometer clock. It has up and down indicator, but it's made by Thomas Mercer, London, one of the great ones. And so when you're not moving and you need to stabilize it, you have the stabilizing bar, and you unlock this, and it gimbals with the ship. It can gimbal all the way around. Has a key with it, beautiful condition. Anyway, 2,500 to 4,000 on that. Very fine, rare thing to find. And these two, these Chelsea ship's clocks in solid bronze, are very, very popular. This one has raised numerals in bronze with a silver dial ship's bell, and it's retailed by Black Star and Frost in New York, but they were made by the Chelsea Clock Company, and these are very sought after, lot 2009. And the last people to come in on the day had this wonderful picture right here, and I said, God, I recognize that painting. And the reason I recognize it is a very famous painting by Winslow Homer, and the big version of this is in the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. But whoever painted this had to be standing in front of this picture, because I studied the original painting of it, pictures of it, and there's not one thing off in this picture by this guy. Not one thing off. I think there's one shadow maybe that was a little tiny bit off on this when they did comparison. So we don't know who painted it, but if you can't afford a $5 million Winslow Homer and you love this image, this would be a great one to have. This is lot 3274. 2351 of these amazing hand-blown footed goblets. And you notice they have the air bubble under where the drink goes, and very little area for the drink. It's almost all solid glass down to the base, and it has like a blown wafer base on that. 2031, there's a set of 6 of those with 22 or 24 karat gold rims. How those survived is beyond me. Then of course we always have a lot of great tea caddies. There's a pear-shaped one in pear wood. Those usually bring 1,000 to 1,500. There's a tortoiseshell one. Those can bring 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 all day long. So this is a small, what they call a Dutch Kas, K-A-S, and it's late 17th century, early 18th century. You'll notice that it's all carved in wood, and it had rosewood applique designs. These columns are rosewood, inlaid rosewood here. The center panels are rosewood. All beautiful carved crest on the top of the molding. Very unusual here. It has a heart in the center, which is a nice little detail. This is a beautiful piece of furniture. Came out of a place in Portland, Maine. All nice wood peg construction. When you look at early furniture, you want to see this kind of shrinkage around the wooden pegs. If they're flush, they don't have any shrinkage. This has nice shrinkage to the wood, so you know it's been centuries of shrinking to get that nice raised peg like that. Had a big keyhole. Inside has 3 shelves. Beautiful condition. And over here from the same family, lot 2344, is another early 17th or 18th century piece in oak, and this one looks like it's oak and rosewood or ebony. has very unusual doors. The center door almost looks like it has drawers in the center of it, all inlaid. But what makes this a unique piece is on those round bun feet, they call that. That's 2344, 1500 to 2000, again from the same family in Portland, Maine. The Days of Elegance. This is a country Chippendale maple and birch tall clock made by Nathan Hale of Windsor, Vermont, whose ancestor was Nathan Hale. Beautiful clock right there at 5,000 to 7,000. So if you wanted to have a great barometer, and this is a great one, this is lot 2017, spectacular barometer, all in carved oak, beautiful, beautiful condition. These panels are all hand painted and decorated right here. It has the thermometer and your barometer with all the adjustment pieces on it. And just an exquisite example of one of these barometers. 2,000 to 3,000. 2,000 to 3,000, lot 2017 on Saturday. So this private collection of several barometers that we have was from an estate in Cushing, Maine. These are known as gentlemen's shaving stands. This one is in bird's eye maple with, it looks like rosewood inlay along here and rosewood trim. Beautiful little piece of miniature, almost miniature furniture, all dovetailed. Usually these are British, and this would have been made around 1820. And it has, but it's very unusual. It has a step down and it has 4 drawers. They usually aren't this complicated, but this is a real beauty right here. Has a little ball feet on it. Anyway, a beautiful little piece of furniture right there from 1820, 1830, and a very desirable wood. Bird's eye maple and tiger maple are the 2 most desirable woods in furniture at this point. This is a George Washington, President of the United States of America. This is an early hand-written and printed document, or hand-signed and printed document by George Washington. Nice big George Washington signature here by the President and Timothy Chickering on the bottom right there. It was on the 15th day of December, 1795. Anyway, that is in the vintage walnut frame and nicely matted and estimated at 10,000 to 20,000. 10,000 to 20,000. Very rare to find in Washington documents of this period. This came in on free appraisal day, right from a home here down the road in Thomaston. A very fine example of the master seascape painter, Frederick Judd Wade. He worked from 1861 to 1940, and this is an incredible example of his work. It's signed down here, there's documents on the back, has a name tag here, and a beautiful original period carved and gilded frame right there. We've sold Frederick Judd Wade in the past, but this has to be the finest one that's come about in a long time. A great example of a seashore picture with the crashing waves. You can almost feel the mist coming off the painting. 15,000 to 25,000 is the estimate on that one. Lovely example of his work, ready to hang anywhere in your collection. 3055 is a recently discovered untouched painting of the 2 White Pheasants by Jessie Arms Botke, a wonderful artist from California, and one of the first people to use gold leaf in the background of her pictures. At the same period as Klimt was doing it in Austria. And you'll notice he loves these flowers, and people really love her stuff because of the flowers and the peacocks. And this one is 60,000 to 80,000 in lot 3055. It's in untouched condition, just the way it came out of a property in Rockland, Maine, and it had this original period frame on it, so we left it. A lot of people collect trade signs, and a lot of people collect things that have to do with pigs or boars. And this is a vintage French trade sign for a butcher shop. It's in original condition, has an old strap repair here, and he has a little metal curl tail. And that one, 18 to 2400, and is solid wood with applied ears. Wonderful little pig. We usually get a lot of action on anything that has to do with pigs in the trade signs or sculptures. And he's a fun little guy. And if you don't get him, look at this, a pig weather vane. In late 19th century, early 20th century, pig weather vane is a full-bodied weather vane, lot 1028, 2 to 3,000. So a nice patina, and that one's at 2 to 3,000 is the estimate on the little pig on Friday. That's on Friday. Speaking of trade signs, look at this one here. Someone was very clever and took a solid walnut Victorian bed footboard and did this beautiful painted and gold leaf sign for Holland on Holland, the famous shotgun makers, by appointment to the agent King George V, North American stockists Abercrombie and Fitch. Spectacular sign for any gun collector or shotgun collector or sign collector. You don't find them in that condition ever. This is a wrought iron bracket with a carved and painted wood trade sign for a coffee shop or a store that sold coffee, I should say. And a fun and decorative thing right there. Be great for kitchen. $800 to $1,200 on that. So lot 3052 is a spectacular painting that was just discovered. It's by K.A. Buehr, B-U-E-H-R, of a woman looks like she's about to put sugar in her tea, and lovely condition, an original period carved and gilded frame. And that painting right there is estimated at $15,000 to $20,000. His works of this caliber have been known to bring $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 though, and this one is totally untouched, never been cleaned or varnished or anything else. Really a spectacular image of the French Impressionist style of painting. This is a nice still life by Luigi Luccione. He was a Vermont artist, lot 3054. This came out of a house down in, I believe this was out of a home in Westport Island, hanging in the living room. It's in a period original distressed sort of driftwood-like frame right there, and that one is $6,000 to $8,000. $6,000 to $8,000. Very sought-after artist, Luigi Luccione, 1954. So this is a wonderful colored glass art from a Yugoslavian contemporary artist, and these pieces can bring $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 each. Very, very sought after in the modern art world. Over here is a fun little piece right here. This came in out of an estate locally. It's a little bird decorated in pottery. That's by Picasso, 3116. Wonderful little original bowl by Picasso. We always sort of start day 3, if we have them, with these wonderful little sculptures. This is a little Vienna bronze of a mother pug with her baby pug in painted and gilded, painted bronze. Ooh. And then we have these Vienna bronzes of the cats dueling, fencing. There's a 3001 and 3003. So this is an interesting painting, came out of the house in Westport Island too. This is on the cover of the catalog. It's by Ralph Cahoon. He's a wonderful American folk art painter, always does sort of nautical themes. A lot of his pictures have mermaids in it, and sailors and things. This is the 5 wives looking out to sea, waiting for their rambunctious husbands to come home, probably in a snowstorm nonetheless. And it's $10,000 to $15,000. This has just never been offered for sale. Came out of that estate in Westport Island, I believe. Untouched, perfect and untouched condition. So this is a wonderful Art Nouveau lamp. It has a mermaid coming around the fixture that holds that great Nautilus shell on it. This would have been in the Art Nouveau period, probably 1905 to 1912 era, and $800 to $1,200. Beautiful little lamp right there. Like this little baby blanket chest, which came off Southport Island. The woman was using it to store her jewelry. It's not an antique piece, but it's made as beautifully as any antique piece in rampant tiger maple, has multiple levels, and what's interesting, the cabinet maker knew enough to make the divided drawer out of solid bird's eye maple, which makes a really lovely piece. And this was just filled with old-fashioned jewelry, all dovetailed on the outside corners, has an OG bracket foot on the base, Chippendale period, in the Chippendale style, and pine secondary wood, just like it would have been in the 18th century. So what this is the miniature version of an 18th century Chippendale tiger maple blanket chest. And superb quality and condition all the way. They even made hinges that have a way to hold the lids so they can't fall back and break, like a lot of the blanket chests, they didn't realize that they'd go over, and when they did, they'd break out the hinges. On that little piece right there, that should bring easily $600 to $800, even though it's a modern replica. It's a beautifully constructed piece. This is lot 3005, and it's a little leather hippo, and they were used as footrest. We have another one of a turtle over there, and those usually bring $1,000 to $1,500, depending on which creature they are. Which creatures they are, but their hippos are very popular, probably $1,000 to $1,500. And there's a little turtle over there, which I've never seen a turtle before, and we've handled a lot of these, and they were retailed by Abercrombie and Fitch.